employer I was with many, many years ago, and we won Super Bowl tickets. One ticket. Couldn't bring my wife, which is a horrible thing. But at any rate, yeah, so we went up to the glassed-in, these were good seats, a glassed-in place, and the door was locked. And I was like, hey, these are our seats, man. The door's locked. Boom, 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 boom. Muhammad Ali opens the door. I swear. You know? How you doing, champ? That's what happened. Then they dispersed us throughout the crowd, so we still got to stay. But anyway, that's my Muhammad Ali story. Atlantic Logo Wear. I'm gonna tell you a little bit about that. We specialize, and you guys have heard me say this a bunch of times, three-dimensional marketing. That's custom screen printed apparel. That is custom embroidered apparel. That is all types of branded marketing products, from the pen you write with, from the coffee mug you drink from. We do an awful lot of that. We love our apparel orders, but my goodness, we do get a lot of orders for branded marketing products. We believe in free samples. You know, if you're going to buy 500 water bottles for an event you have coming up, we think it's important that you kind of hold it and go, yeah, I really like this water bottle. I want 500 of these. Here's a big one. We do free warehousing. A lot of our clients will do trade shows, seminars, where they have lots of needs for what we do, but they have no place to store it. And of course, they get a better deal if they buy large quantities. So we warehouse that product for them, and of course fulfill that on an as-needed basis, and still provide them inventory reports and all that. And there's no charge for that. A big one we do too is free event assistance. A lot of our clients have trade shows, seminars, things of that nature. And this was a couple of years ago, but we had some people doing a show out in Williamsburg, which is not too far away. Everybody, they had 3 people that were going to run their booth for this thing. All 3 had the flu. So we get a call in the evening. We get a call, but we had 2 of us were able to go help this show and run their booth for them. No charge for that. We even showed up in their own logo apparel, so we look like employees. I think one of our main deals is consulting. You know, we get some people that say they just pick random things for some reason. We want 10,000 pencils. Okay, why do you want 10,000 pencils? Well, we think that's a good product. Well, who's your target market? Well, it's men about 70 years old. Well, it doesn't fit. So we're happy at the end of the day to get whatever you want, but we will make some suggestions on products that make sense for your target demographic or for the event that you're doing. So who is a great referral for us? Far and above, for me, marketing directors. If you know anyone that has the title of marketing director, that's an exceptional referral for me. Clients you know that participate in trade shows, particularly the big ones, you know, the ones in Vegas, Chicago, New York, Florida, those big trade shows. We love to help those clients. Holiday gift giving is coming up, obviously. So, and there's not much time. People think, oh, I'll just order December 1st. About November, third week in November, that's the cutoff. So you're not going to get anything until that point. Nonprofits. We do an awful lot of work with nonprofits. So the nonprofits that you're affiliated with, we'd love to be introduced.
1804, Napoleon Bonaparte becomes the first emperor of France. At that time, the French were a ground machine plowing through Europe. Everybody was at risk, except for Britain. Britain, of course, is an island. The English Channel keeps all of the horses and cannons at bay. The only way to get to Britain is via boat. And so in 1805, the Franco-Spanish Armada, led by a captain by the name of Villanueva, sets out with an armada to take on the British Navy. The Battle of Trafalgar, 1805, October 1805. The French and Spanish have 35 ships, 30,000 men and cannon bearing down on the British naval forces. They're basically outmanned 2-1. They have about 17,000 men, 25 ships to their 33. Naval warfare at the time was very interesting. You would line up your battleships in a nice row, and the opposing navy would line up their battleships in a nice row, and you'd blow smithereens out of each other, right? You'd just line up the cannon and fire, and whoever was left standing won the battle. The Britons had a superior navy, but they were outgunned and outmanned, and they knew they wouldn't survive. So the British commander, a guy by the name of Nelson, does a maneuver that is unheard of. Instead of facing off parallel lines, he takes his navy into two columns and splits the Spanish Armada and sinks half the vessels, captures 15,000 of their men, captures 20 ships, and basically wins the battle, all right? Keeps the Franco-Spanish Armada from coming into Britain and taking over Britain. That battle, the Battle of Trafalgar, is one of the most notorious naval battle scenes in all of history, a monumental battle. But what made it work had nothing to do with the positioning of the ships or the numbers of cannon or the numbers of men. It had to do with communication and planning. Nelson knew that when his armada, if it was successful in splitting the Franco-Spanish line, that these ships would be unable to communicate with those ships. They didn't have radio, guys. They used flags. And if their navy is in between your navy, you can't see anything going on. Villanueva was notorious. He was a command ship. He would never tell people what to do until the moment they needed to do it, and he expected them to follow his command. Nelson knew this. So by splitting their ships, he was able to separate their communication and keep them at bay and keep them from communicating at all. These captains had no idea what to do. These captains had no idea. Nelson, on the other hand, decided weeks in advance, he communicated with all of his captains. He told them what the plan was. He explained to them what the vision was. He shared with them what the plan was and how they were going to decimate the other navy. When these guys attacked, everybody had a plan. Everybody had a mission. Everybody knew what to do. The communication ahead of the battle made the battle possible. In our businesses, it's no different. The way we communicate with our teams, the way we communicate with our customers, the way we communicate with each other makes all the difference in execution. If we think for 1 minute that keeping the plans intact and keeping everything to ourselves, self-preservation as we might call it, is the answer to our business, we're missing the point. Execution happens at a small scale and a big scale. Whether you communicate effectively ahead of time makes all the difference in whether you sink or swim. And that's the mental model.